everybody to the first 2023 meeting of Delta Amateur Radio Club. We are certainly happy to have everybody, but before we get started, we're going to do introductions. So, Bob, would you mind starting us off?
Bob Water, KW4RJ. And we got two new techs over here that just got their license.
All right.
Okay, I'm Mike Loomis from Bartlett. This is my brother Joe Duke.
All right. Well, thanks.
Yes.
I'm John, KK4LSQ.
I'm Jonathan, KO4WAQ.
Eric, AK4
Jim, KJ4TCE.
Tim, KQ4WF.
Dana, WI3B.
Dan, N9 PNA. Kevin, Kilo Yankee 4 Mike India.
John, Kilo November 4, Bravo Victor Hotel.
Park Dodge, Alpha India 5, Charlie Yankee.
Randall, Kilo Yankee 4, Mike.
Will, Kilo Oscar 4, Tango Lima Yankee.
Jose, KJ4, TCJ.
Larry, Alpha Kilo 4, Sierra Zulu.
Bob, Kilo Oscar 4, Zulu Charlie Juliet.
Steve, Kilo 4, Victor Papa Tango.
Ham, W4GMM.
Ken, Kilo India 4, Alpha Oscar Hotel.
Richard, K4 DXF.
Harry, November 4, Golf Juliet.
Rick, N0KYN.
Barry, W5CJ. And also Rick on this side of the river, WA4NBL. The radio days, everything west of the Mississippi was K calls and
Yeah.
Tom, AC5MR.
John, Kilo November 4, Lima Charlie Victor.
Jim, Kilo November 4, Whiskey Golf Zulu.
Joe, WA4 OBO.
Dan, Kilo November 4 Foxtrot Bravo Juliet.
Janet Can 4 FBI.
All right. Jim, Kilo Delta 4, Foxtrot Uniform.
Scott, KM4, MU.
Paul, Kilo Yankee 4, Mike X-Ray.
Mike, KM4, MRW.
And I'm Mary Jean, KY4FB. So again, welcome everybody. We're glad to have everybody back and in person. We need to start adding more tables so there's more room to spread out as we go along into the year, or hopefully as we get more folks back. We'll certainly do that as we go along. While you're here today, I mentioned something earlier. Don't forget. So first thing, make sure you sign in. If you are not on the member sign-in sheet, it might just be because we don't have, how far back did you print out? Just 2022 paid?
No, I went back
2023.
Several years, like
Okay.
4 years.
Okay, so if you look by your name, because I know it's that time of the year where some folks aren't sure if they paid or not, and some have, some haven't. Look by your name, and if you see the number 2023, then that means you're good to go. If you don't see that, if you don't mind, come grab an application and see Jim down at the end of the row. It's just $20 for individual dues, $25 for family. And considering that that's 12 meetings of snacks and drinks, money of course goes to help offset event costs like Field Day and the Huntsville Hamfest bus, and then of course the big one when we do address it is when we have repeater upgrades and all that. So we take that little $20 and we try to stretch it as far as we could, along with some other things. So if you're not updated for the year, again, come see us. So I mentioned this again earlier, but we've had a lot of folks come in. So we've talked about it before. We're bringing back the tickets. So for those of you who are new and aren't familiar, tear you off a ticket. So you get one for being here today. And each time that we have a meeting, make sure you fill out your name and your call sign. And at our November meeting, we'll have some prizes that we'll give away. And so in the past, and this could be different this year, so don't hold me to it, But in the past, we've had things, I think, like TVs, we've had radios, antennas, blankets, other things. I mean, so a lot of radio-related items, but especially a few other things mixed in. I think gift cards even. So you want to make sure that you fill out a ticket while you're here today and keep coming back so you can increase your chances for that. All right, so for the secretary's minutes and treasurer's report.
I make a motion.
Yippee-dee-yippee-dee.
We take it.
I agree with him.
Everybody should read the minutes and the treasurer's report and Sparks.
I second.
All right, so Ham, W4GMM, has made a motion to accept the secretary's minutes and the treasurer's report as published in Sparks. And Ken Lassiter, KI4AOH, seconded the motion. All those in favor say aye or raise your hand.
Aye.
All opposed say no or raise your hand.
Is Roger here?
Okay, the motion unanimously passes. All right, so announcements. All right, Steve, would you like to announce about Swamp Stompers since that's this weekend?
All right, as everybody knows, Santa's come and gone and the temperatures are dropping, so it's time for Swamp Stompers. It is this weekend. We've got volunteers that we need for it. If anybody is still interested in it, see me, but this is usually a pretty small event. They've only got like 3 places we've got to go to. We don't have people, following them around in cars or anything. So we've got enough to handle it, but if somebody wants to join us, you're welcome to it. Yes. Okay. Swamp Stompers is it's a run. It's not a marathon. It's a run that they do through Shelby Forest. There's a group of runners that it's a 25 and a 50K run that they do through Shelby Forest. And literally, they'll leave start finish, which is in a parking lot there, and then they head off into the woods, and then they pop out at like 3 different places in the woods, and then they come back in. So we don't even really see them unless something happens in between the spots. So we're mainly there because of communication of what's going on at the different aid stations that they go through. We will be using the 8.2 repeater. So if you're not joining us and want to listen in, feel free to join it, listen in. But I will tell you, it's not even really going to be a whole lot of radio traffic. The race starts at 7:30. You'll hear a little bit at 7. You'll hear a little bit, the first hour or so when they're starting and when they're going through the different checkpoints. But other than that, it's not even really a lot on the radio. But if you want to join us, do it. I see that there are several people that are going to do it that are here. So if y'all want to meet with me real quick, we'll just make sure we got everything worked out. But appreciate the people that have volunteered.
All right, thank you, Steve. Oh. And I see Joe back here. I know Joe's got a couple things for us.
The classes have an extra class going, started last Saturday, have had 8 students on it. I had one student yesterday, or one person call me and want to get in the class, so that was put us at 9. There might be a 10th one, so that's good. It's Saturday from 9 to 1 for the extra class. We'll take a vacation on January the 28th for Winter Field Day in Jackson, Mississippi Hamfest, in case people are wanting to go there. It'll end up on the 25th of February, which should be will be just the FCC test session. Then for a tech class, probably we'll start a class mid to late February on probably a Monday night from 6:15 to 9:30. It'll be for 6 weeks, 6 different classes, and if you know someone interested in getting their license, they need to send me an email with the subject line, tech class, and their name, call sign, or not, correction, name, email address, and cell phone number to wa4obo@gmail.com. You want to go over ARRL membership?
I can, or you can. You probably know a little more about it, so.
Recently, ARRL has revised their commissioning clubs to gain membership for ARRL. If you fill out an application and give it to us with a check made it payable to ARRL, we will send it in with a cover letter, and the club gets $15 for new members. On renewals, we get $5. The renewals can be any time during the year, because if you pay for a year on renewal, it'll be from the time your your membership with ARRL expires for another year. So it doesn't really matter if you pay it early or later, or right at the expiration of your membership, but it'll get us $5. If you have been an ARRL member and you have not been a member for more than 2 years, that will be considered as a new member, and we get $15. So we would like to try to start doing that next month. If somebody, go to ARRL.org and put in new membership, fill out the form. On the form, it does have a space for a credit card. We do not want to accept any credit applications with credit cards on it for liability reasons. We just don't want to see it and be liable for the credit card number. Check or money order, or during a meeting, you can pay in cash, and then the club will write a check accordingly. But I tested it out in August, after the August tech class, and we had 2 people join, and we got $30 from it. And then we did a test. Barry Jean did a test on her renewal, and we got it through. When you send it in, ARRL will send we send the full amount of money in, then ARRL will send us a check, and they write their check on the last Wednesday of the month. So that's the ARRL renewal, and it just helps if you're going to pay for it. It doesn't cost you any more, but it gives the club some money to help offset all of our expenses.
Mr. Joe?
Yeah.
Do we get, if you do a 3-year renewal, do we get $15?
No, $5 on it.
Regardless. And do we make our checks payable to the club or to ARRL for the renewal?
I think ARRL.
Okay, all right, thank you.
It could be done either way, but I think Jim would prefer to have it as ARRL, and then we'll just send the checks in with the cover sheet that the club does on the commission.
Thank you.
Quick questions, any others?
We do have the forms up here.
Does the club benefit for some of us who are life members?
What was it?
Will the club benefit for some of us who are life members?
No.
No?
No. If you're a life member, it's already paid.
Yeah, and I will say, we certainly appreciate you being a life member in ARRL, and I'm sure they do too. So I think that this is something they just geared towards for the folks who are sending in something, because it sounds like from what we've heard is that we have a pretty good ARRL percentage of our membership. We push it, Joe and everybody else, especially with the classes, encourage that for folks who just got their tech license, and we talk about it quite a bit in our meetings for the benefits of ARRL, but it sounds like a lot of the other clubs don't. And so, of course, this is a great way, since we are active and we do have a lot who renew, that we can, like you said, even if it's $5.
One thing, Are you already a life member, or are you gonna put in?
No, I'm already a life member.
Okay, if somebody's putting in for a life membership, then, I think we would get $5.
But we'd still appreciate it.
$5 is $5.
So,
I don't throw away giving money.
good deal. Well, thank you, Joe. All right. So there was something in Sparks that I mentioned. We had several people, the last polo order that we had, who ordered those polos. But, and I think I mentioned last month we were going to do it in January, but we're actually going to place the order in February. So the February meeting is the deadline. They have gone up in price. Those prices are listed in Sparks, but again, if you want to get a polo, which is going to be embroidered with the logo on one side and then your name and call sign on the other, and these are those like tactical type polos, so it's got the pin pockets in the sleeves, it's got the mic clips on multiple different areas, and it's that nice tough material. So it's, I haven't been able to poke a hole in mine yet, but they seem to be really durable. So there are a lot of sizes that they are out of stock on, and I'm going to continue to check in. So if you want a size that's out of stock, we don't want to accept your money yet in case it takes 6 months to get in. But extra small through extra large is $41. A 2XL would be $43. A 3XL would be $47, and a 4XL would be $49. So in the men's cut, they are currently out of small, 2X, 3X, 4X, and 5X. So it sounds like basically they have maybe extra small, medium, and large. And then they have everything in the women's cut is in stock. So if you are interested in one that's out of stock, feel free to email me or let me know something, and I'll put your name down on the list, because I will be checking in every now and then, and I'll get in touch with you. But we don't have a minimum order that we have to place to make it, so we can still place an order and then come back and continue to check in on that. So there's some more information up here. If you are interested and you want to go on and pay for one, if you want to grab one of these sheets and then pay Jim the amount and make sure we get that sheet, and then we'll be in touch from there. All right, Free Fest is coming up. Does anybody, Rick or anybody else, do you want to speak about Free Fest?
Something. Yes. April 8th, right? Yes.
Okay, April 8th.
And the ones that don't know, it's the local Ham Fest, but it's also a fundraiser for Lobauer Hospital.
Do you want to?
I never hear me. You can whisper it. I want to disassemble this thing and tighten up whatever's loose in the red. Yeah. Anyhow, it's a. He will.
It's on.
Operator error.
Free Fest is a local fundraiser ham fest for Lobauer Children's Hospital. It's always the first full weekend, I think, of April.
Second Saturday.
Yeah, second Saturday. So it'll be April 8th this year. It's in Bartlett. What do they call that building over there?
Bartlett Station Municipal Center.
Municipal Center. Stage Road, right by the train tracks there.
Behind the
north
library.
side, yeah,
Convention
library. So, and it's officially from 9 to 3. There'll be set up, there's tables. The big thing is, typical ham fest, it costs you $10 plus to get in the door. This thing's free to get in. They give you a free ticket for the drawings. They sell additional tickets, which is a fundraising part of it. Also, every dollar goes to the hospital. And free tables. Yeah, free tables. I mean, they have hamburgers and stuff for lunch. Breakfast biscuits in the mornings. So come hungry, and the food you eat will help offset the rent for the building. That's how we try to pay for the building. So MARA Club is kind of the sponsor of it, but all hams in the local area and support it every year. And also Dennis who's the president this year of MARA, was gonna try to hit up some folks in here for volunteers, because every year we gotta go in early, well, actually Friday, and cover all the tables with cardboard and paper, protect every tables, because they're sticklers. You don't dare put a piece of tape on their wall and pull the paint off. You're in the doghouse. So, they keep a clean building there, and they run a tight ship. So, and there will be, we used to have, when MFJ would come to town, we'd help them offload their truck and carry it into port, but they've got to quit doing those trips. I just, you know, if you're a new hand that's used to go look at stuff, buy something, you think Richard, he was a newbie, and they say, what is that? I said, I don't really know, but you need it. Help him spend his money, because those old guys don't need any more junk. Yeah, we just had a speaker last week, it was 72,000 something that's been donated so far to the hospital. And, in fact, Rick, you get any money? You throw us something, never. But, that's pretty much it. You know, it's been, real favorable for, the hospital and for the local hams.
9 to 3 still?
9 to 3 was the actual official hours. Now, load in will be like 7 to 9 that morning if you want to have a table and you want to put stuff in. If you don't have a table, they're usually taken every year, so you got to get your name on the wait list. Art, WA4PSS is the one that's running that part of the equation. And there also will be spots in the parking lot if you have a trailer full of tower or something you want to try to push. So, there's a whole. Any other questions I can think of, answers?
Do you know who's gonna be there or who's not gonna be there?
Vendor-wise, we don't know yet. They sent that out every year. Whoever was there the year before gets kind of the first pick of their tables to come back, the commercial type vendors. And they have a deadline that they don't answer up by a certain date, which I don't really know what it is, but it's coming up fairly soon. Then the tables are open to anybody else that wants to partake. But there'll be some commercial table area, and then of course there's a lot of tables for individuals.
And we've got a club, or a table reserved, right?
2.
2. So we'll have some items for sale as well at that free fest.
Yeah, most of the clubs usually have tables there. And there's some groups around town we call the Bullfrogs. You know, they do a little FM simplex type deal all the time, and they usually have a table for their stuff. And a lot of these organizations, Neshoba and what's the other one down south, they donate prizes for it. Because all the prizes.
Chickasaw, amateur
Chickasaw.
radio, out of Hernando and Olive Ranch.
All the prizes, the bigger prizes, well, even the smaller stuff, but it's donated by somebody. So we don't buy any prizes, which we have no money for that purpose. And we try to break even on the building itself. Usually lose a couple $100 sometimes, but so what? So it's for a good cause.
It's free to get in, but no guarantees when you come out.
And the big thing is we need some volunteers to help, you know, a few of the labor intensive things like cover tables is the main one. Of course, when it's over, we try to run everybody out pretty quick as far as the vendors go, so we can clear the tables. We got to take the paper and the cardboard back off. In fact, the cardboard is now stored in Lavonder.
Oh, really?
We used to have to pay for a rental, you know, one of these buildings.
Oh, this is-
Pretty big hit too.
Is this the same event where y'all sold the raffle tickets? last
Yes.
year?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
You'll do that again this year?
Yeah, no, ticket sales hopefully will be a little earlier this year. We've always waited to get the bigger prizes, print them on the ticket. We're gonna kick that to the curb officially this year, it's the plan. So we can print them out early and get them out to the different clubs early, and a lot of times, you know, some ham, they'll grab $500 worth and start beating up the rents for them, you know. And there's always non-ham prizes on their TVs and watches, and then we try to have some bigger ham type prizes. So typically every year we've had a 2,000 watt generator from Harbor Freight is one of the items. Just about every year there's a Turner Construction Company which works at the hospital on projects. they'll donate a nice iPad top of the line typically. There's some goodies. And the tickets are on a scale, a buck a piece, which typically are
$6 for $5,
$5,
five sheets for 20.
Yeah, get up to 20, and there's no price break typically, but you get 30 tickets for $20. And the biggest one we ever had, just to throw it out here, Rachel, myself, and Dennis Foster, who's not here, because of COVID a couple of years ago, we didn't have it, partly wouldn't let us in the building even. So we had in my garage, Tom, W5KUB, that does a Tuesday night broadcast worldwide, different subject matters. We piped it to him, he broadcasts the thing worldwide, and in the morning of even, I had people like Louisiana or something call or send me messages to buy tickets, and this ain't gonna work, folks. And then I, send them a PayPal number, they sent me the money, the PayPal account, I printed the tickets and they're in the drum, and some of them won prizes 2 hours later. That cost $200 for FedEx to ship all this stuff. Razor had one in the parking lot, delivering the generator. One group left, when we were driving hundreds of miles home, they got to work, he turned around, came back, got a big TV set, spent the night in a hotel locally. So, okay, I'll shut up.
Well, thank you, Rick, for filling us in. And I know it's a few months out, because it is in April, but Mara puts that on. So we certainly, like he said, they'll have tickets for sale soon. So I would encourage you to buy it because it does go for a good cause. As we get closer, they'll ask for volunteers to help on Friday with setup and load in, tear down, to help in the kitchen and things like that. So if you've got a little extra time and you're able to help when they ask for it, I would encourage you to consider that as well. Because again, everything we can do to help them continue to put that on, I know it makes a big difference for that hospital in this community. So
It keeps it off of us.
I guess that too. But yeah, so it's a great cause, and we want to continue to support that.
That's Mid-South Amateur Radio Association.
Rick, can you still win prizes if you're a volunteer?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, well, I've been called out in the kitchen before I go in and head on back. So
Yeah. You buy the tickets, you win the prize.
Well, you can win the prize if you don't even, you're one free
Yeah,
ticket.
you get a freebie, 1 year, no, forget that was here.
Bob, do you want to make any? Do you have anything additional for testing the bee?
About testing, we had 3 people get texts tonight.
Okay, 3 texts. Wow. Good deal. Well, congratulations again, y'all. Does anybody else have any other announcements? Anything?
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
Is anybody doing anything on Winter Field Day?
Yes. We are doing Winter Field Day out of Millington at the Fire Training Academy.
Good, thank you.
So if anybody's interested, we'll be there just on Saturday. It's Saturday. It's inside, it's warm. So,
When's that? That's next week?
28th.
28th.
Yeah, last full weekend. While I was doing that,
Yes, sir.
RSVP
well,
by
we've got
15
two-
January.
That's one of the 2 activities that we'll have out there. We'll also be doing. No, somebody turned it off. All right. We're also going to be doing Armed Forces Day out at Millington. So if anybody's interested in getting on HF, if you're not HF capable now, or you're a new ham and all you've got is VHF, we will be doing, and that'll be the 2nd weekend in May, I believe it is.
Second Saturday.
It's the Saturday before Dayton Ham Fest, so it's not actually Armed Forces Day. It's the week before, but that's when they do the exercise. And we are going to do Winter Field Day on Saturday the 28th. If anybody's interested, we'll be happy to have you out there. You can get a hold of me, W4GMM@bellsouth.net, and I'll be happy to tell you how to get there and what you can do.
I think you got an RSVP by 15 January.
Huh?
RSVP by 15 January.
Just whenever.
Set your reminder.
Ms. Williams sent me a text.
Oh, did she? Okay, yeah. Just
All right, does anybody have any questions for Ham?
whenever.
Okay. All right, well, last month we had an award ceremony and recognized everyone or different people for different things. One of the awards that we didn't get to hand out last month, so we are going to hand it out tonight, is the Delta Club 2022 New Ham of the Year Award. And the New Ham of the Year Award is an award that the board votes on, and it's somebody who has been initially licensed as a technician within the past 18 months. And that's somebody who has kind of gone the extra mile for a new person in ham radio. This individual is, even as new as they are into ham radio, they're already serving as a net control operator for the Delta Club Nightly Information Net. He does half of the 440 net on Friday night for Delta Club. He's participated in events, including coming out to Field Day, and he also just upgraded to General last month. So this award for the 2022 New Ham of the Year Award goes to Will Tinney, KO4TOY. So Will. Congratulations.
One more, 3, 2, 1.
Awesome, thank you.
All right. All right, is there anything else before we take a short break? Okay, so if you're on the board of directors, we are going to have a very quick, brief meeting to cover one thing. So during the break, please come up here and we'll keep it quick and short. But let's take an 8-minute break. And so at 7:40, we will start.